This is Neural Newscast.
The essential stories for Wednesday, July 1st, 2026.
From Neural Newscast, I'm Noah Feldman.
And I'm Isabel Moreno.
Okay, Amnesty International reports this morning that Sudanese paramilitaries committed crimes against humanity and ethnic cleansing during the seizure of el-Fasher. The report details a systematic pattern of murder, torture, and sexual violence used as a weapon of war.
The United Nations previously reported that over 6,000 people were killed in just 3 days during the assault. This evidence is being cited as relevant to the crime of genocide as the Rapid Support Forces consolidate control over the Darfur region.
Amnesty is calling for the urgent deployment of an international force to protect civilians. The civil war has already displaced more than 14 million people and left 28 million facing acute hunger.
Global leaders face increasing pressure to intervene as investigators identify specific commanders responsible for these violations. The conflict remains a significant crisis as the power struggle between the regular army and paramilitaries continues.
In other news, a federal judge in Manhattan has sentenced self-exiled Chinese billionaire Guo Wengui to 30 years in prison. The sentence follows a conviction for a financial fraud scheme that cost investors over $800 million.
Judge Analisa Torres stated that Guo preyed on those seeking to bring democracy to China to fund his own lavish lifestyle. In addition to the prison term, he has been ordered to forfeit $889 million in restitution.
Guo had reinvented himself in the United States as a fierce critic of the Chinese government and maintained high-profile ties to political figures like Steve Bannon. His defense team argued that the prosecution validated a smear campaign by the Chinese Communist Party.
Turning now to Monaco. Authorities are searching for a suspect after an explosive device wounded a Ukrainian tycoon. The blast occurred Monday night at the entrance of a residential building near the French border.
Media reports identify the injured man as construction magnate Vadim Yermolayev. He was targeted by Ukrainian sanctions in 2023 for business links to Russia, though he claims to have renounced his citizenship nearly a decade ago.
Surveillance footage shows the suspect waiting for the family before the explosion and fleeing on foot into France. One woman remains in life-threatening condition. Prince Albert II described the attack as an odious act.
Meanwhile, the United States Supreme Court is expected to release 2 major rulings today that could significantly shift national policy. The justices are deciding on an effort to limit birthright citizenship, a rule that has granted automatic status to those born on United States soil for 150 years.
The court is also set to rule on the participation of transgender athletes in women's sports. Both decisions represent the final major actions of this session and could upend long-standing interpretations of the 14th Amendment.
In sports, Paraguay has eliminated Germany in the round of 32 of the FIA World Cup. The match ended in a 4-3 penalty shootout victory for the South Americans on Monday.
Jose Canale scored the decisive spot kick to secure what many consider the biggest knockout shock in the tournament's history. Germany had been heavy favorites to reach the final after their dominant performance earlier in the decade.
Paraguay now advances to the round of 16 after rebounding from a heavy opening loss. This victory follows other major upsets in this tournament, including Morocco's win over the Netherlands earlier this week.
While we see drama on the pitch, the international legal community is watching for the immediate impacts of today's expected court decisions.
Here is what else we're watching. French and Monegasque police are intensifying their cross-border manhunt for the suspect in the Yermolayev bombing. Investigators are reviewing high-definition surveillance from the neighboring town of Beausoleil.
Next, FIFA will confirm the full schedule for the round of 16 following Paraguay's historic win. Fans are waiting to see if the underdog side can maintain their momentum in the next phase of the bracket.
Finally, legal experts are analyzing the potential implementation of the Supreme Court's birthright citizenship ruling. If the court upholds limits, federal agencies may have to issue new guidelines for passport applications as early as this afternoon.
Noah, the implications for families across the country could be immediate if the court moves away from current precedent.
That is the Neural Newscast for Wednesday, July 1st.
I'm Noah Feldman.
And I'm Isabel Moreno. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.